Hi guys, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Ghostbusters on the Xbox 360. Why Ghostbusters, might you ask? Again, might you ask? Well, this is the Xbox 360 version, so today we're playing Ghostbusters on the Xbox 360, so... Hold on. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm not used to all this stuff. I haven't played Xbox games in a long time, and doing a commentary isn't really doing me any favors while trying to figure it out. I had this game originally on Xbox, and I did a whole playthrough of the PlayStation 3 version, and I've been on and off with a playthrough of the Wii version, but all versions are really good, but this is the best port of Ghostbusters. This has higher resolution, a little bit of extra effects. Sometimes people still play the multiplayer online, which is actually fun if you can get 3 other people to play, and I'm not a huge multiplayer person. But I think a lot of enjoyment with these games has to do with whether you like Ghostbusters or not, because I think if you're not really into the Ghostbusters license, this, like, if you had like a 10-point score, it might take away 1 or 2 points and might make it an average game. It just depends on what kind of games you like. I absolutely love this game because it's Ghostbusters. I wish they'd make another one. I've already explained in my whole playthrough of the PlayStation 3 and parts of my playthrough that I haven't finished on the Wii what I would like to see in another Ghostbusters game now that Harold Ramis has passed away, which is why I started the Wii playthrough. I guess it's kind of disrespectful that I didn't finish it. I have every intention to at some point, but yeah, there's things I like about this game, and there's things I think they should do better, but I'm trying to figure out what's the first part of the Cedric Hotel. I think it's this part. I'm gonna play the first level. You see most of it. I've always been obsessed with comparison videos. I think they're fascinating. I always look at it as a different perspective or interpretation of a game, so there's always subtle differences. So this game looks, if you're used to playing the PlayStation 3 version, especially the unpatched PlayStation 3 version, this game looks significantly better, and there's actual one effect that I know of, which I'll show you eventually, but if you play the PlayStation 3 version, these textures are significantly downgraded.
Disgusting green blob is up on the 12th
and it has like that fuzzy filter. It's reduced somewhat with the patch. That's about it. I mean, and the detail on the carpets, even though these aren't the most detailed carpets in the world, are actually even blurrier on the PlayStation 3. But I've championed through the PlayStation 3. I finished it more than once. I finished the Xbox 360 version. I finished the Wii version. I played the Nintendo DS version. I'd share that with you if I knew a good way to record it, because there's a lot of stylus use with that game, because it's kind of a strategy game. But this level starts out kind of as a tutorial, which is kind of weird because the level before this was sort of a tutorial. But anyway, the textures and resolution are a lot higher, which is weird because when they first advertised this game, they said like the PlayStation 3 version was gonna have slightly more advanced graphics. Ghostbusters is actually a Columbia Pictures movie, which is a Sony Pictures, a Sony property. Sony owns PlayStation, so you would think they would have gotten a better treatment, and they kind of false advertised about the PlayStation version. They said that it was gonna be better, slightly better, and there with like some special graphical effects or whatever. It almost seems like they were talking more about the 360 version than this version.
Nice. Now we got another plane.
Alright, so I'll point it out. Like, one thing that the Xbox 360 version does is when you use your proton stream, like here, you'll see these little glowing embers. They're mysteriously absent in the PlayStation 3 version. They're also on the PC version. The PC version is like a lousy console port. You can probably run it at a high resolution. It's not optimized for computers at all. Like, the system requirements are sort of high for the demands and graphics. But everything's just higher resolution. It's visually appealing. I mean, it doesn't have a better frame rate or anything like that. The more stuff you destroy in this game, the more money you get. But I probably covered all of this in the playthrough. And again, if you don't feel like watching the playthrough, I also have a regular Ghostbusters video of the PlayStation 3, so this is going to be odd to have a video overview of the same game like so many times, but I don't know. I like to look at different ports of games. I have no idea how well the differences are going to show up on YouTube, but they're definitely apparent to me looking at the video screen right now. But once it gets rendered through Vegas and then rendered again through YouTube, gosh knows what it's going to look like. But yeah, you have all these upgrades you can buy. Obviously, I only have enough money for one upgrade, which helps the blast stream be more accurate, but you know, I kind of like the inaccuracy of a proton pack. They're trying to set up the scene right here on the first Ghostbusters when Ray shoots at Slimer.
I've seen this one already. Know how it ends. You two have fun now.
So the PlayStation 3 version isn't bad, but you definitely can tell the difference. Okay. And the environments are really destructible. Terminal Reality went on to make The Walking Dead Survival Instincts, which wasn't that well received of a game. I won't say it's a bad game. I accidentally pushed the wrong reload button. You reload with the shoulder buttons in this game. It's not like your average first-person shooter. But they went on to make The Walking Dead Survival Instincts, which had great potential, but I think that they probably had to rush for the TV show seasons or whatever. This game was in development hell forever because I think Universal was going to originally publish this game, and then they went under, and when Activision bought it, and so you play this game, it's hot and cold with the PKE meter. Activision didn't want the Ghostbusters license, which is kind of weird because they're the ones that used to publish all the other Ghostbusters games all these years. I guess they were burnt out on it. I guess they would have made a Ghostbusters game by now if they would have wanted to. As ridiculous as it is, the more stuff you destroy, the more money you get. Your proton pack heats fairly quickly, but you can upgrade that so it doesn't overheat as much. But after The Walking Dead Survival Instincts, I think the final nail in the coffin is probably Star Wars Connect. That was the Star Wars game with the weird karaoke and dancing sequences. If you're like me, you'll like this game because of some of the environmental destruction. Because if you watch any of my videos, I'm sure you're used to hearing me bitch about environmental destruction all the time. Well, this game has it.
Always review techniques, tutorials, and equipment from the online Ghostbusters field manual. All accessible from your PKE meter. Ray! Peter, come in. You okay?
This is probably going to unfortunately be the most authentic Ghostbuster experience ever. I really doubt we'll see another Ghostbusters game because they spent a shit ton of money on this, because I mean they had to pay for like real actors, not just like voice sound-alikes or whatever. So this might be the last Ghostbusters game, because I don't think this game made enough money to make up for how much money was spent developing this game, unfortunately. I think they could do it if they used maybe like the cartoon series license and stuff like that, or maybe had a game based on like like you're owning your own Ghostbusters franchise. Maybe have one of the stars, maybe Dan Aykroyd, I'm sure, are like Ernie Hudson, who plays Winston. Like I'm sure that they're not as demanding as maybe having Bill Murray, and I'm sure Bill Murray probably would only want to do one game and never do it again. So you get all these little pet names for being the new guy. I actually have an action figure of the Rookie, which is kind of cool. It wasn't one, I think it was the last Ghostbuster action figure released. And for whatever reason, I had good timing. I went to Big Lots, which, if you're not familiar with Big Lots, is like a store that sells things that didn't sell well in other stores or whatever, and they sell it cheaper, so they have lower prices. And they had an action figure of the Rookie, because the way they sold the Ghostbuster figures, which is another bad idea, is you had to be part of this club online that Mattel Toys owned, and you would pay like this large sum of money and like basically subscribe to getting the toys to you whenever they were released. It was really weird, so not a lot of people ordered them, and they complained that that people didn't buy enough, but if you went on the website, they always seem to be sold out, so I don't know what the deal with that is. In this game, they have and they don't really mention it till later on in the game, they have governors on the proton pack, so this must be some sort of upgraded version. Plus, on the movies, you never see them wrangle ghosts and slam them all around, so I'm guessing these are upgraded versions of the proton pack. But if you cross the streams, you hear this weird like warning sign. I don't think that trap sound is actually all that accurate to the movies, but the proton stream sounds are. But again, I think the equipment they're using is slightly updated. I think it's like 2 years after Ghostbusters 2. Like in Ghostbusters 2, when you hear the Scoleri brothers go down, the traps had more like this weird guttural like sound. I can't explain it, and I don't want to do an impression of it and embarrass myself more than I probably do with these commentaries that I do. So you'll just have to watch the movie. And you can get the amazing Blu-ray sets, I think September 16th, with deleted scenes from Ghostbusters 2, which we've never seen before, so you can wait and check it out on those. I can't wait to get it. And then Ghostbusters, I believe, is being released sometime in August. I want to say the 29th, but I'm not 100% sure. When you have the blue screen flashing on your PKE meter, that means there's an artifact nearby when you collect them. But when you attempt to collect them without getting hit, did I get it? They'll be scattered around the firehouse when you check out the firehouse, which is really cool. And there's little stories behind the stuff, like if you go over here, you can look at the relics. and you have like Tobin's Spirit Guide. I wish there was more ghosts. There's more variety of ghosts and multiplayer, but you can't really scan the multiplayer ghosts. Well, they have like weird ghosts of like bumper cars and shit. It's a shame that multiplayer isn't really supported that much. People don't play it anymore. I think they shut down the servers completely on the PlayStation 3. I think they might still be up on Xbox. I have an Xbox Silver account right now, so I can't really check. And when I had a gold account and tried to play it when I originally had my Xbox a year ago, it was really hard to find somebody on. And the PC version, they took out multiplayer altogether. The Wii version actually supports co-op at the sacrifice of a frame rate, but it's the only Ghostbuster game that really has co-op for the main story, which I find really cool. You also can play between a boy and a girl. And since they always call you Rookie, I guess it doesn't matter whether you're a boy or a girl, because it would apply either way. Now, if they said, like, he, she, her, whatever, I guess it wouldn't make sense then and look stupid. But since they call you Rookie and all these other weird nicknames, you can get away with being called a girl or a boy.
Sounds like the Alhambra's off limits.
Nobody slimes people twice.
Be careful, Peter. Remember the Ellis title?
Remember the first time I played this on the Xbox 360. After hours of playing it on PlayStation 3, I was just remember feeling blown away, even though it's the same game and the resolution's slightly higher, and you get these little glowing embers. I don't know why they didn't put that in the PlayStation. I couldn't see why something like that would like push the PlayStation over the edge. It just was another sloppy port, which is kind of inexcusable, I think, for this game, for the simple fact that this game was in development for so long. And it's so short, but I guess when you're writing a script for people who aren't even used to making video games or whatever. And even though they say written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, they did not write this game. They got a script and looked over it and rewrote certain parts of it. So that's kind of false advertising in a way. They wrote some of the stuff, but mostly their job was just to like approve or say like this character wouldn't do that. You know, they were just there to make up for the authenticity of the game. That's why I think the characters sound a little bit more campy than usual. But I mean, I heard this script was the size of a damn telephone book. And even though the script was like so big, I still think that there's parts of this game where I feel like they weren't recording for it because the characters would say stuff. They'll say stuff like over and over again. You could tell that they weren't really recording for that particular scene. And it's interesting if you play the Wii version and the PS3 or 360 version that I need to scan that guy.
I dare you. Everything but the kitchen sink.
But if you play the Wii or the Wii or the PlayStation 2, I definitely recommend the Wii because it's more immersive with the motion controls. And I'm hardly a fan of the motion controls with most games. Some games I think they work well. It really just depends on the game. But the average Wii game, the controls are sloppily put in. But Ghostbusters on the Wii actually works really well. And I would definitely recommend it over the PlayStation 2 version. And I don't think the PlayStation 2 version has co-op either. I love shooting these tablecloths. They just slowly burn away. apparently that cake was modeled after one of the developers' wedding cake, which is kind of crazy.
I'm gonna take back.
They want you to blow up that cake, because that's kind of what happened in the movie. Kind of. The cake was blown up in the movie. Later on in the game, I don't feel like there's as much set pieces. I feel like when you play the later part of the game, it almost feels like they didn't know how to finish the game. I feel like it feels a little rushed, which is bizarre to me because it was in development for years. Because they were in hiatus, and by the time the game was almost close to being complete or whatever, they even extended it further to coincide with the 25th anniversary of Ghostbusters. So I can't even believe this game's like almost, I guess it is 5 years old now. Doesn't seem like it. Where's the time gone? They want me to scan this, but I'm just gonna blow it up. Later on, it's easier to get ghosts, especially when you upgrade your neutrino one, and you get the boson darts, which are like these explosive blasts that you can put at the end of the proton stream. It weakens ghosts much faster, so if you're turned off by the length it takes to capture ghosts, and you got to make sure that they're in the center of the funnel, so when you see them swinging like left to right, that's actually me directly controlling it. The PlayStation 3 actually supports motion control for that part, but I wouldn't turn it on. I tried it, I think, once. It wasn't very enjoyable. Anyway, back to the Wii and 360 version. I keep on talking about in the PlayStation 3 differences. It's kind of cool to play both. I go back and forth of which game I really like. I'll play one game and miss the other, and play the other and miss parts of the other game. They're completely different, so don't get confused with them being ports. They're different versions of the story. The only thing that's similar is the story, the actors, the lines, even the art style is different. They're completely different games. The Wii and PlayStation 2, PSP, I think that's all the things that came on. Even the DS is actually a third completely different type of game. So there's 3 different versions of Ghostbusters. But it's kind of cool to play the Wii version, because some of the lines and stuff you do is different, so it's almost like you're seeing deleted scenes in each version. It doesn't happen often, but if you play the game, they're definitely there, and even the enemy designs are different. So I don't know which designs were the first ones, or they just made them for the Wii or whatever. And I think sorry, it's so hard to talk and play at the same time, but that's what I do on this channel, so if I'm fucking it up, I'm pretty screwed, because that's the whole point of most of the channel. But yeah, what the hell was I talking about? Man, I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, I was just saying that the enemy designs are different in each game, and some designs are more clever than others, in my opinion, and it's nice to see the differences. I would really love to see like an art book for this game, like covering both styles of games, because there's a lot of stuff that they didn't put in the game they originally designed. Somebody's crossing the streams. I don't know if you'll hear it on the video, but it was like a high pitch, almost like whistle sound. But you have like some sort of governors on the proton packs that are mentioned later in the game. So all crossing the streams does is like knock you off your feet and like make you vulnerable for a while. And the way you die on this game is if you and all the Ghostbusters you're currently playing with are knocked down. As long as there's one Ghostbuster still standing, it won't go to game over. Now sometimes that can be a little bit frustrating because you have to wait for either to get revived or the other Ghostbuster to get knocked down, and there's rare occasions where it'll take a while. Most of the time when you come into any of those problems, it's usually during a boss fight or one of the last levels. But this game's pretty balanced. Really, the last level is really the only one that has a few hiccups in it and balance. Once you figure out things, it's pretty straightforward. I don't know if recovering your trap gives you money or not. I don't know if it makes a difference, or it's just to make the experience more authentic. Well, authentic for a fictional experience, but whatever. I just got a DVD set of this show, The Haunting, which I'm sure you might have seen it before if you ever watched the Discovery Channel or whatever, late at night. And this channel, Destination America, just bought the series like a year or so ago, and see a multiplayer, like everybody works together, kind of like that, and it makes it easier to capture the ghosts. They don't have as much fight the more people that have their capture streams locked onto it, and you can tell when the capture beams on them because it'll have like that circle that encompasses around them.
Who is going to pay for all of this?
No need to worry, sir. As you know, the mayor rode to office on a strictly pro-Ghostbusters platform. We now invoice the city directly for all captures and eliminations.
So basically the Ghostbusters in this particular game
But damage.
are
The mayor and the city have taken out an extensive insurance policy as well, so you're covered.
are like more like a emergency service. Like if you had a phone, like one of those old phones that have like the little fire number,
Please.
the little fire symbol where you dial that, and it would, I guess they'd essentially all call 911, but whatever, at least here in the US. And there was one for like the police and one for the hospital. I guess there'd be another button for Ghostbusters around this time. This game, and you know all this if you watch the playthrough or whatever, takes place in 1991, around Thanksgiving. There's actually supposed to be a level that was scrapped that took place during the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. You had to like fight like these giant like inflatable balloon ghosts. I don't remember the hotel in the movie being this fancy, but I'm sure in the movie they wouldn't have filmed every single room that they had. I'm not even sure if the hotel they filmed in is in commission anymore, or the floor that they got Slimer in. I remember them making a big deal about it being kind of like a historical landmark. They try to do the same thing with the original firehouse in New York. I forgot which company it was. You know how they were like Ladder Company 52 or something. Maybe it was 52. I don't know. I think it was in its 50s, whatever it was. They were gonna demolish it or something, and all these people protested, and now it's kept up. They still have the Ghostbusters 2 sign in it. And then the actual filmed interior of the firehouse was actually another firehouse in California somewhere. And I saw some YouTube video of somebody going in while they were remodeling it, so I don't know what they're doing with that. Everybody, when they were reviewing this game at the time, compared this level to BioShock. I always thought the water looked kind of funky. It looks a little bit better in this game. The textures were kind of low res on a PlayStation 2, so it looked kind of weird in that. All the destruction in the level. And I can't blow up the rails, but I think that's just so so you don't go downstairs. This part of the game's a little bit disorienting. It wants you to use your PKE meter to find the ghost. just going in a giant circle here, don't mind me. I always feel so relieved once I get out of this part. I'm not gonna blow up the phone just for the simple fact that
Ray, did you tell the recruit about semi-dimensional rift entities? This type of highly agitated environment is a likely manifestation point.
I want to use the phone as a landmark. Also, if you look at the movie, the PKE meter does not have this kind of, I guess that's supposed to be maybe the toaster from Ghostbusters 2, I don't know. And Vigo, the painting, is also in your firehouse. I'm sure you've seen that in the playthrough if you watch all my videos. If not, shame on you. You should be so ashamed of yourself that you don't watch all close to 500 of my videos and comment on every single one positively. I mean, I honestly don't know how you live with yourself. There's a lot of shit around here. I think those candlesticks are gonna come alive the next time I come by. There's something I'm supposed to do to activate the next part of this mission, but I'm not paying attention, so whatever. Oh, I think I'm supposed to scan it, and it's supposed to startle you, but I've played this game so many times, it's kind of like whatever. I like the little animation of like those sea cucumbers. They're not sea cucumbers, whatever those things are called, and the things go inside of little tubes. I can't think right now of what you would call them, and I probably sound really stupid and like the educational system has failed me, but it's definitely not the case. It's just my mind kind of like surrenders if I'm trying to do two things at once. So you play this hot and cold game. One of these fucking things is supposed to... Maybe it's this one. When I first played this part was sort of really disorienting, for the simple fact that it's kind of maze-like and you gotta activate certain things to progress further. There we go. So this is just gonna set up this whole part where every single one of those things are gonna start attacking me. And if you get cornered or you don't reload fast enough, it could be a major problem, because right now it's sort of difficult because you don't really have all the upgrades of being able to not overheat as fast, and you don't have like the shotgun like attacks or the boson darts. Hope I'm not spoiling this for you, but I did a whole walkthrough, so there can't get much more spoiling than that when it comes to games, so this is a mild spoiler. I mean, if I said boson darts on a proton pack and you never saw it before, you probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about anyway. Oh great, more shit. I guess I gotta go around. soon as I get rid of these guys. Or girls. They're very ambidextrous, I can't tell. I just said ambidextrous, I mean to say androgynous. Wow, that really made me sound stupid. I'm telling you, ADD's a bitch. I guess they might be ambidextrous because they seem to use like every single candlestick very well. So they could be not only androgynous and ambidextrous, so whatever. I apologize about that. Yeah, I know you're coming after me or whatever. What about this stuff? You still left a partial mess, so that you're still not okay in my book. And I hate your stupid sign, and it gives me money for destroying it, so apparently the game hates it too. Those are some really powerful posts there. Destroy everything. I guess I should really focus on you. Let me scan you. I don't know if I have the whole scan. Let's see what your story is. For shits and giggles. Maybe I didn't do this in the other video. Where's Tobin's Spirit Guide? There we go. See, when you look at the ghost, it'll tell you a little bit about them. You can pause this and read it if you'd like. It's not story time. I don't want to extend this video too long. It's already getting somewhat long, so I probably barely hit him on that. A lot of people only remember the Ghostbusters theme, but it's really cool that they use that excellent Elmer Bernstein, I believe that's how you say his last name, orchestrated score. There's actually a really rare album of his music, just the orchestrated music. If you usually buy the Ghostbusters soundtrack, you're gonna end up with the Ray Parker Jr. and all the pop songs. But there's a lot of orchestrated music that wasn't even used in the movie that they use in this game. But I'm pretty sure the game probably left out still some stuff from the album. But last time I looked, the album on eBay was like over $100 unless they came out with like a re-release of it or something. But I would like to listen to it. I have not personally listened to it. I've just heard bits and pieces, and it seems pretty cool and it sounds really nice. I think the pop songs are relevant for Ghostbusters because it also gives it that whole 80s vibe. I do like the whole combination of the orchestrated music and like the pop music at the time. The sequel used more like rap music and stuff because it was the late 80s, as late as you can get it. I believe the second one came out in 1989. I was old enough to see it in the theaters, so as I was born in 84, I wasn't able to see Ghostbusters in the theaters. I'm going to try to see it maybe when it comes out in August if they play it at a theater near me. I'm curious what the new print looks like. It's supposed to be redone. If they do half as good a job on their print as they did with the first Alien, like, that would be incredible. Because when you see higher resolution versions of Ghostbusters, they don't really look all that much better than like the DVD or whatever. It exposes like a lot of noise on the picture more than anything. but I saw a trailer for the remastered version, and even though I was watching it on my shitty computer, it seemed like the colors and stuff were more vibrant, and it seemed like a cleaner picture. But I don't know what it looked like on the big screen. And then they're going to use those remastered versions. Ghostbusters 2 is going to get a remastered version too, but it's not going to get a theatrical release. The theatrical release is only out for like a week or so. But I'm pretty excited, especially with the bonus features of Ghostbusters 2, because all home releases of Ghostbusters 2, unless there's like some shit on the Laserdisc or something, never had extra features. Now that's satisfying. It's satisfying to blow something big up and then have a little ghost come out of it, and then put them in a little box. I don't know why. It's just appealing. Maybe it's just a Ghostbusters fan thing, or maybe everybody can appreciate that. And I like the little ghosts. I wish you could kick the trap and watch it like sizzle like it did on the first Ghostbusters. That'd be a cool little nice touch. Completely unnecessary and probably hours worth of programming time, but it would mean a lot to me. So I'm gonna end the video here. This is Ghostbusters for the Xbox 360. I highly recommend you check it out if you're not a Ghostbusters fan, and if you are a Ghostbusters fan, this is a must-have, and also the Wii version is a must-have as well. You need both versions, seriously, if you're a Ghostbusters fan. Hell, if you're a Ghostbusters fan, go out and get the DS version too. You'll find something to like about that one too, even though it can't compare to the Wii and the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 versions. But yeah, if you get either this game on the PS3 or Xbox 360, that's cool, and then get the Wii version. And if you're a fan like me, you probably want the DS version too. You'd probably even like the crappy Ghostbusters game. This is a must-own for a fan. I definitely recommend checking it out if you just like video games. I want something different than your average third-person shooter. It's funny, it's witty at times, it's different, it's weird, it adds variety, and definitely if you have a choice, get the 360 version. This is the best port of between the PlayStation 3, PC, and the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 is the one to get, and then get the Wii version. I like them both for different reasons, and if you play both versions, you'll probably see why too. So they're kind of equal, but for different things. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please make sure you click the thumbs up button, and if you don't mind, do please leave a comment. I would rather the positive comments, but if you prefer to leave a negative one, please make sure the criticism is constructive and you're not being an asshole. That's all I ask. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe, and you absolutely hate this video, and this is the most disgusting display of YouTube videomanship, or whatever you want to label this video as, and it was so bad you wanted to spit at the screen, and you almost broke your computer. It's so horrible, you can't stand the sound of my wretched voice. Make sure you check out my other videos. There might be a video you might like, and then subscribe. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Alright, bye.